Hey friends, what's up? Philip with Points of Philip, and today I'm going to talk about, well, the stupidest decision I have ever made in credit cards, and why I think it might actually be kind of a good idea. Stick with me. But before we do that, I want to ask you guys to like and subscribe. Doing that helps me and YouTube know that, well, what I'm doing is helpful for people like you, and well, that helps more people to view the content and helps, kind of skew the algorithm. So thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Now let's get into the stupidest decision that I just made. So just a few hours ago, I messaged Citi and I basically closed out my my Citi Custom Cash card. Now, first of all, just to let you know, I'm actually product changing this card. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, well, Citi's kind of weird about approving me for things. And to be fair, I have really high velocity right now. So we're going to talk about that. But first of all, I want to talk about the Citi Custom Cash and why getting rid of it might be the stupidest decision I've ever made. So first of all, this has a $0 annual fee. It also has a really great sign-up bonus. You can get a 0% interest rate for a significant amount of months, and then you can also get some rewards for spending a certain amount on the card. But the most important feature of this card is that it has revolving categories, and you can use up to $500 in that category to get 5 thank you points per dollar on that spend in that category. And of course, that means that any other spend gets 1 point per dollar as well. So it's not really a good single use card is kind of what I'm getting at. But if you are going to use it for gas or groceries, you can also use it for some travel, some things like that. This is a solid earner. It earns 5 thank you points per dollar, up to $500 each month or billing period. Now, this is a really solid card, and a lot of people, a lot of credit card YouTubers will tell you that this is one of the best cards. And in fact, it's one of the cards that makes Citi one of the most compelling issuers right now. However, Citi just announced a significant change that, well, really has me questioning my credit card strategy. And, well, to be honest, I'm kind of already in an area where I would want to change it anyway. So I'm coming off of a very long stint of working on sign up bonuses where I've earned almost 1 million points off of just sign up bonuses. I got a 250,000 point offer for the American Express Business Platinum card. I got a 150,000 point offer for the American Express Business Gold card. I got a 125,000 point offer to upgrade my gold to a personal platinum card. I also got an additional, I think I forgot exactly how many points for upgrading my green to the gold card. And then I also earned a couple of other points from, I earned 80,000 from Citi's American Advantage Platinum Select card. And then I also earned 60,000 Delta miles and, well, a bunch of other things. And, well, anyway, I am coming fresh out of a bunch of sign-up bonuses, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my day-to-day spend. And, well, right now, my plan was to use the Venture card for most purchases, my Mesa card for homeowner-related purchases like the pool guy and home utilities, and then I was going to use the American Express Gold card for my dining and for my grocery spend that wasn't Walmart. And of course, I'd have to put my Walmart spend on my Venture card. And, well, that kind of maybe completely flipped on its edge because of a very particular and very interesting update from Citi. They've announced last week that they are going to allow one-to-one transfers for people who hold the Citi Strata Premier and the Citi Strata Elite cards. And there are going to be other ways to transfer to American Airlines, but at a less favorable rate with other cards. So what I did was I decided that I didn't need the Citi Custom Cash anymore, and that I was going to hold the Citi Strata Premier. And so this card here, the reason why I want to get it is, well, there's a lot going on. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get into the benefits of this card and why it's more compelling to me than even the American Express Gold card. And, well, that's kind of saying something because up until this time, this has been my favorite credit card that I've had in my wallet to date. All right, and even that includes the Ritz-Carlton card. So let's take a look at this card here. This is the Citi Strata Premier, and basically what it does is it's earning 60,000 bonus points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. Now, this is a great sign-up bonus. However, I have to tell you that I can't get this sign-up bonus. I can't get the Citi Strata Elite, and the reason why is primarily because I am actually, so applied for a lot of personal cards in the last 6 months. And so they basically essentially cited the number of newly opened accounts and denying me for both of these cards with the sign up bonuses. And I was like, well, I could just eat it, and now I have. And well, I'm not really screwing myself out of a sign up bonus because the Citi Custom Cash that I product changed to the Citi Strata Premier was actually a way back when it was a balance transfer card that I got many years ago. And so, well, that doesn't actually impede my ability to get this sign up bonus moving forward, at least the way I understand the rules. If I'm wrong, tell me in the description below. But anyway, so I product changed to the Citi Strata Premier. And the reason why is because, well, first of all, it does have a $95 annual fee. But if you take a look at these earning multipliers here, well, they're kind of insane. So 3x points per dollar on air travel and other hotel purchases. So if you are purchasing anything from a boutique hotel or a bed and breakfast in the Cotswolds in United Kingdom to going to, say a Hyatt hotel in Washington, D.C., well, you're getting 3 Citi thank you points per dollar. And that also goes for airline spent directly. And now that's only marginally worse than the the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which actually earns 4 points per dollar on that exact same category. So for $95, I can have almost just as much of the multiplier as this Chase Sapphire Reserve at $795. So, well, it's already sounding really great. Now, you also get 3 points per dollar at restaurants. Now, you can say, well, who cares? Because this Chase or the Capital One Saver card earns 3% back, which can be 3 points per dollar. Now, the only problem is that most people, in order to be able to transfer those points out, you have to either have the Venture One, the Venture card, or the Venture X, which means, well, for two of those cards come with annual fees. So you're either paying $95 or $395 for that annual fee. But basically, essentially, this is one card. And so, well, since this is the one card that Citi is giving me on the thank you point spectrum, I also have the Platinum Select with American Airlines, which I can no longer product change to a thank you point earning card, at least for now. But we also get 3 points per dollar on gas and EV charging. So that is really great. Now, I do personally have the Business Gold card, which means if I did use this card for gas, I'd be giving up 4 points per dollar through American Express. But, well, this trade-off might be worth it, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, this one also gets $3 points per dollar spent at supermarkets, which is also really great, and then 1 point per dollar on everything else. Now, it does give you 10 points per dollar on hotels, car rentals, and attractions booked on citytravel.com. I am a little iffy because I do prefer to book a lot of those hotels or car rentals directly because, well, I have car rental status with a number of car rental agencies. And then I also have high level Hilton status. I have diamond status with Hilton and Marriott Gold status. And so, well, if I am going to be booking any of those experiences, rather do it directly. So that's really not going to deal with me. And so, well, the $100 annual hotel bin, I'm probably not going to be able to use. But if I were to stay once per calendar year, enjoy $100 off a single hotel stay of $500 or more. So if I were to use this to say book a $500 hotel stay in Puerto Rico, where the credit card meetup is going to be in November, then that would save almost that more than that annual fee. And you could argue that this card pays me $95 or $5 to own it, but I'm probably not going to be doing that. Now, here's the kicker. You can now transfer your points to JetBlue, Virgin Atlantic, Cathay Pacific, Eva Air, Choice Hotels, leading hotels of the world, and American Airlines. And well, this is kind of the rub. So for those of you that were listening to when I was talking about, well, my recent sign-up bonus journey, I did earn 80,000 points by getting the sign-up bonus. I was targeted for a special mail order, kind of sign-up bonus in March for the 80,000. And over the course of that spend, I was also earning another 12,000 points. So I currently have 92,000 American Airlines points. Well, when I was looking at a potential trip to Vienna or to Edinburgh, what I was seeing is that American Airlines had some compelling options that my wife and I might want to take part in, but I would need more than 92,000 American Airlines miles. And so what I think I'm going to do moving forward is I'm going to try to put as much spend on this as possible. So for the foreseeable future, if I'm buying something out to eat, if I'm going grocery shopping, or if I'm paying for gas, I will be using this. Now, also, if I'm going to a hotel where I'm paying out of pocket, not with points, then this will also be an option as well. So this is kind of be my go-to card moving forward. Now, I'm also going to have the Venture card because, well, I can only have one Citi Thank You Point card right now until I garden for a little bit. My plan is to not really get any new additional personal credit cards this year and wait until December or January, and maybe I can try my stab at getting another Thank You Point earning card. But until then, I'm going to have the Venture card as my catch-all, and then the Citi Strata Premier as my everything else for all these wonderful categories. Now, let's get into why we might want to take a look at American Airlines. So what I've decided to do is we are looking at Points. And I really love Points, first of all, because they had a really solid deal. I got a lot of really great American Airlines miles actually directly from this purchase because I used American Airlines shopping portal for this when I had, I think it was 25 points per dollar, and then I paid the 100 points, which is really, really nice. Now, so what we're going to do is we're only taking a look at American Airlines A Advantage plan. And so we're going to hit apply here. And then we're going to look at business and first. And so this is their feature where I can actually travel, search anywhere. So I'm looking at any states from the United States to anywhere in the world. And so what you can see is there's a number of different points that are here. So if I want to stay in domestic first, well, I have some options. So I could travel to, let's say, if I wanted to travel to Denver, Colorado, I can get there for 18,000 points at $11 in first class. Now, this is domestic first class, so it's not going to be as ritzy. You're not going to have complete hot meals served with, people just waiting on me hands and foot, right? It's going to be just kind of a thing, but it is really a great way to travel in a way that makes it really nice. And well, if I wanted to go to Anchorage, Alaska, I could get it there in first with 30,000 points. And if I wanted to go to Hawaii, I could also, if I wanted to go to Kauai Island, that's 50,000 points in first class on American. So let's click into this and see what it is we're actually talking about. So this is from DCA. So this is from, so this is going to be one flight. So 50,000 points will get you from DCA to Miami to LAX and then to Kauai Island Airport. And so this is going to be a significant flight. You can see here the first hour is the first flight is going to be 2 hours 37 minutes. Then you have a 6-hour layover, 5 hours 48 minutes flight to LA, and an additional 6 hours to Hawaii. And each one of these legs is in domestic first class. And well, I can tell you, if I was ever going to convince Mrs. Points with Phillip to actually fly to Hawaii with me, well, this is the way I would be able to do it. In order to make that happen, well, I would have to earn more American Airlines miles. Now, let's take a look at some other international options. So we're going to click out of this option now, and we're going to kind of zoom out a little bit. Let's go ahead and let's go. We're going to hit back up a little bit. So let's take a look if we were looking at, let's take a look here. There we go. So we're going to do only American Airlines, and we're looking for the month of May 2026. So we're looking at all cabins, unfortunately. So we're going to change that a little bit, hit apply again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at if we want to fly into the Americas. So if I wanted to fly to, let's say, what is this one? If I want to go to Dominica, that is 31,500 points in business per seat. If I wanted to fly to Barbados, that's 20,000 points. If I wanted to fly to Punta Cana, that's 20,000 points, again, in business. And so, well, that could just be domestic first class, but it seems like it could be a little bit nicer. Now, let's take a look at going across the pond. If I wanted to travel to Paris, Charles de Gaulle, that would be 57,000 points plus $754 in fees. And that probably means that it's routing through, it probably means that it's routing through Heathrow for there to be that many. Yeah, it looks like there's a stop. Yep. Oh, that's even a bad one. So you fly into LaGuardia and leave from Newark, and then go through Heathrow to Charles de Gaulle. So that is, well, quite the flight. But yeah, so that is why that one's so nasty points wise. But let's go ahead and hit backwards again, and then make sure we're checking the right things. Airline programs. Okay, so let's take a look here. If we wanted to fly to Italy. So if we wanted to fly to Napoli, Italy, that's 57,500 points. If we wanted to fly to Marseille, 57,500 points, same deal. So business class through much of Europe is going to be 57,000 points. And well, there's a lot of availabilities. For instance, my wife and I, we want to fly to Prague or Vienna, and then you can actually fly to both of those. Now, there are some substantially heavy fees because you're doing British Airways and probably through Heathrow, but there are some good options. Now, let's take a look here on the other side of the world. So if I wanted to fly to Japan, I can do that. Fly to Osaka, Japan for 60,000 points. And so that is going to be from Boston to Osaka. Let's take a look at that itinerary. So there's only this one here is from May 3rd, 2026. Now this one's kind of a weird one. So we go from Boston, Logan to O'Hare, and then O'Hare, 5-hour layover to, let's see, I'm not sure where that is. And then there's a layover there in Tokyo Haneda. And then so you don't even really, if you're not checking any bags, you don't even have to go onto this other flight if you don't want to. But that is JAL business class. And so that is really nice. But of course, the main leg of your journey is actually, yeah, JAL business class. It's a 12-hour, 45-minute flight in business. And you are there for 60,000 points and $5.60. Folks, this is insane. Like now, it's a long flight. Don't get me wrong. 13 hours flight. You're going across the continental United States, and then you're also doing a bunch of other stuff. However, that's really going to be worth it for you. Now let's take a look. If we wanted to go, let's say we wanted to go to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, or if we wanted, yeah, let's go to Manila, Philippines. That's 70,000 points for $25. And so this is LGA. So I think that's what LaGuardia, right? Yeah. So to Manila. So that goes from LaGuardia to O'Hare, O'Hare to Narita International. And again, this is that same business class seat. So it's 12 hours, 45 minutes from Chicago to Narita International on JAL in business class. And you are paying 70,000 points and $18.80. So that is an insane value. And so this is why we care about American Airlines and why it's such a big deal. It does decently well, but here's the thing: anywhere in the world, you're not paying more than 100,000 points for a ticket. If we wanted to fly, so let's say this is Johannesburg in South Africa, that's 75,000 points. Now it is $175 in fees, but that's pretty intense. We go to Lima, Peru for 41,000 points, and that is also in business class. So, once again, American Airlines has an insane value, especially when you're traveling internationally. When you think about that one JAL flight, that's 12 hours, 45 minutes in one seat, and you're 60,000 points. Well, yeah, that definitely is worth me throwing out my American Express Gold Card. That's worth me throwing out basically anything else because, well, currently these points matter. If I wanted to fly to Anchorage, Alaska, that's a long flight for 30,000 points and, well, domestic first class, but still, if I'm going to travel from literally one point of the country, Orlando, Florida, to Anchorage, Alaska, in 30,000 points in domestic first class, that's the way I want to do it. And so that's one of the reasons why, well, Citi's recent announcement completely changed my mind on what I want to do with my life and my credit card life anyway. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below why you like American Airlines or, well, why you think this is the stupidest thing I've ever done. But anyway, thanks so much again for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys until next time. Bye.